Hello, friends. Maybe you remember a few weeks ago when I said, you know what, I discovered this new job title and I think y'all should know about it. I was exactly right. There is a certification and a job out in the world that is paying six figures for people, and I talk to black women, for people who have a particular certification and your whatever fill in the blank skill set. Your skill set plus this certification equals six-figure salary. And so my special guest is going to tell you all about it. Welcome. First, my name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter, co-creator of Exodus Summit, and creator of House Sitter School. And on this channel, we talk to black women about moving abroad, about bopping around as a nomad, about house sitting, about embracing ease. If you're into it, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I'll give you just a second to do that. Thank you. Okay, also turn on notifications, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live with special guests. Hello, special guest. Friends meeting.
Hello. Hey, how are you doing, friends? Hey, Stephanie. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm
I'm,
excited.
I'm so glad that you're here. So Yvette is somebody whose name you would recognize from the chat. She's one of us. She's somebody that we always have in the community, or who's a member of the community, and who
Yeah.
heard this conversation and was like, oh, let me help y'all.
Let me help everyone. Yes. It was last Saturday. I was laying in bed last Saturday watching, and everyone kept talking about being a scrum master. I said, I know what they're talking about. I do know this.
So I don't know it. I don't know about it. I just heard a little bit. So we're going to dig into it. Okay. So first, before all of that, Yvette, introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Hello, friends. Hello, community. I am Vett Jett, and I am a leadership coach as well as a Scrum Master. I've been a Scrum Master for years now. Served 8 years in the military, and did a lot of things, bopping around like we say, right? Getting my degrees and all that good stuff, and leading in different organizations, working on my doctorate, professor. So I have all the things, right? But of course, we can get into that another time. But that's what I do. That's who I am. All things leadership and career, and of course, Scrum.
Scrum. Okay. So Scrum
Yes.
Master is the job title that I had been seeing a lot. I'd seen some job postings, and I don't
Mhm.
even be looking for jobs like that. Sometimes I'm just on LinkedIn and they assault me with job postings, right? So Scrum
Wow.
Master is a thing that I see literal, actual, real life jobs for,
Yeah.
but never knew what it was. And recently I got a little hint of what it was and what it pays and how you get the job. And so that's why I'm so excited today, because some of you are going to have a pivot in your career that you weren't even anticipating taking.
Yes. Oh my
So what
goodness.
is, so we want to talk about a couple of different things. We want to talk about what is the job. We want to talk about how do you get the job and why is the job so good. So
Okay.
what is this job that we're talking about that people can pivot to?
So, Stephanie, I have to tell you, the job itself is the easiest job you could ever have, right? And the funny thing about it is, so many people never realize that they're already Scrum Masters. All it is a servant leader. At the core of it is a servant leader. That means that you help people, you serve the teams, and you make teams better. That's literally at the core of what you do of a scrum master. And so we'll get into how you can get into it. But so most times it's in technology, but it's in a lot of different places. So anything that has a piece of technology to it, I can almost guarantee you they have a scrum master. If you look in academia, even at my university, they have a scrum master. You help the project and the product move along better, and you help the teams work better together. So to break it down a little bit further, it's like a project manager without all the rigor of project management.
Okay.
And so a lot of people that were project managers go into being a scrum master.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me say this as well, because that word sounds weird, right? When you say scrum master, it's like the weirdest sounding word ever. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But if you're like me, you watch football, they're like, oh, they just had a scrum. It's a bunch of people gathered together. That's all it is. A bunch of people huddled together and they're doing a scrum. That's all it is. So a scrum master is, you get all the people together and you guys have the work you have to do, and the scrum master helps it move along so you don't get stuck in the process.
Oh.
It's that simple. We can get into why it may seem more complicated, but it's really just that simple.
So the Scrum Master doesn't need to know how to do the thing that the people on that team know how to do. The Scrum Master needs to know how to help them move it along.
That's it. And let me tell you, Steph, I work with developers, and that's what the Scrum Master do. They work with the developers and they work with the product owner. You work with really, really smart people, right? That most of the time they're speaking like a whole different language from you because they're speaking technology speak, right?
Yeah.
You don't build anything, you don't code anything. They do all of that. But you learn how to ask the questions to get the process moving along. Like, are you guys sure you need to do it that way? Is there another way to do it? Is there someone I can help? Can I call somebody for you to help move this process along so you're not stuck, so there's no risk, dependencies, or impediments?
Okay.
That's where your job comes into. You have a problem, you listen for the problem. You have a problem, let me solve it. What, you have issue over there? Let me try to fix it. How can I fix it? How can I help you?
Okay. All right. So the Scrum Master is a person who helps move things along inside of projects, not the project manager, but a person who,
No, not the pro. And so you'll see, I'm glad you said that, Stephanie, because you'll see job postings that say Scrum Master says slash project manager. You
yeah.
see that all the time. So they're trying, some organizations try to blend them, but a true Scrum Master is not a project manager. They're completely different and they function differently. Now, because when you start blending it, that's a whole different beast of an animal. That's not as easy as being a Scrum Master, nor is it as fun, right? Because
Okay.
you're looking at the
Yeah.
budget, you're looking at the risk, you're keeping all the data, you're keeping the Gantt chart. Like, no, 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 no. That's different.
Okay. So you threw out a few fields already, academia, healthcare, and of course technology. You threw out a few fields already where a person may see Scrum Master positions. But
Hmm.
we talk about, hi, Aisha is a broad ability. Hey, Aisha. She says, you have her full and undivided attention.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we talk about a few ways that you know, a few, maybe some skill set that you may have that might make you a good Scrum Master?
Yes. Oh, that's a good question. So, the first skill is to be a leader, right? You have to be willing to be a leader because the definition of being a scrum master is a servant leader. So, you have to have a servant's heart, right? I first heard about being a scrum master years ago when I worked in the airline industry, right? And I worked for an airline that all they talked about was the servant's heart. So, the first skill you have to have as a scrum master is that you are willing to be the leader when everyone else is digging their heels or digging their head in the sand, right? Can you step up and be a leader? Are you willing to coach the team? Do you have skills, customer service skills, right?
Hmm.
Are you willing to ask the hard questions? Are you inquisitive, right? So even though you might not know technology and you don't have all the answers, but are you willing to ask the tough questions and be the bad person sometimes by asking all the what seem like dumb questions, right? There's no dumb question, but it's gonna feel like you're asking a dumb question. That's just being honest, because like, I don't know what y'all talking about. What does that mean? So are you okay with asking those questions? So the first skill I said, and the major skill I would say, is to be a leader, because you have to step into a field that takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of openness, it takes a lot of respect. But that's why I love Scrum, because part of being a scrum master, they have values, Stephanie. They have values and principles to being a scrum master, right?
Ah,
Openness, respect, and just like those are the pillars. Just like and willing to have a growth mindset, right? So that goes into a whole nother thing, being agile, being willing to be flexible. Are you able to be flexible and work in the gray areas of not knowing, right? Because that's what agile is about. That's what being a scrum master is about. You're able to pivot, being adaptable. So those are just a few of the skills. Soft skills are critical in this role, right? Effective communication. Can you communicate effectively? And can you communicate with people of different nationalities?
Oh,
That's a big thing because a lot of developers are what they call offshore. That means they're not here. Most of them are in India. So are you okay and comfortable with different cultures that are not like us, that don't communicate like us, but you're trying to pull out of them something that's not in their culture, right? So that's another component, just being adaptable, being flexible with it.
okay. Thank you, Yvette. So okay, I have 85 questions, plus I have a whole bunch started here in the chat. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't do my usual. Here I am acting brand new on a Tuesday. But hello, everyone. I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. Friends, if you haven't said good afternoon or good evening yet, you can say it. Hi. Say hi. All right. Including those of you who are in the comments watching the replay. Hello, friends in the future. Hope it's amazing there. Hope you're as excited as we are. Okay,
Yes.
so you've talked to us about some skills. I want to name some skills that you didn't say, okay?
Okay.
You didn't
Okay.
say tech experience, you didn't say programming, you didn't
Yeah.
say, I can't even name any tech.
And
I
so
yeah,
they're good to have, but they're not necessary to have, right? Of course, does that make you more marketable? Yes. But
mhm,
no, you do not, because you're not the programmer. You're
mhm,
not the tech person. You're the scrum master. And that's the bubble you stay in.
yeah.
That's it.
Okay, now, so I think based on what I've heard you say so far, there are a lot of organizations in a
Mhm.
variety of different fields and spaces who would want a scrum master who could kind of bridge the gap between what they do, like, so somebody who is let's talk about somebody who is a pharmacy technician,
Okay.
right,
All
or a
right.
pharmacist. I would
Mm-hmm.
imagine that there are drug companies who would
Mm-hmm.
want a scrum master who could
Yes.
bridge the gap between the one side and the other.
Exactly. And it's funny you said that because I used to work for Prime Therapeutics, which is a drug company, right? But on the back end of that drug company, they have technology. So, how you go to the pharmacy and get your drugs, on the back end of it is a technology aspect that
Yes.
they need that scrum master to help them. So, you're probably wondering, but I saw someone in the chat say, what about healthcare, right?
Huh?
You can use it in your day to day life, right? Because you do what they call a daily stand up or a DSU, right? Where every day as a team, we're talking about what did we do yesterday? What are we going to do today? And what are we going to do tomorrow? Are there any risks, impediments, or dependencies that we have to be aware of? So, as a pharmacy tech, right, whenever you guys go in, I heard you say it before when you're changing over your shift and you have that whiteboard. Well, you will have a column of what did we do yesterday? What are the risks? What are the dependencies? What do we have going on that we need to know about as we change over the shift?
Yeah.
In healthcare, like say you have the doctors and the nurses, well, you will have a whiteboard. You can have it either physical or, of course, like now they have mural. And those boards, those whiteboards, the collaboration tools help you see your work to create transparency. So you can use it in any field to bring to light what the work needs to be done and how we're going to get it accomplished.
Patty Palmer saying, like a huddle, the scrum master runs the huddle.
It's a huddle. So some people used to call like a daily stand up a huddle. You know, and most people use it in project management as well. So it's like your daily huddle that you're going to talk about what's going on before you start your day.
Okay, wonderful.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so you named customer service, which is a thing that a lot of people have that they think means that they cannot have an online job. So I just want to pull
Mhm.
out the fact that you mentioned customer service being an important skill set for a
Yes.
sector. Having a lot of customer service experience and leadership inside of customer service, which we underestimate, but being a leader of a team when you work in customer service is leadership, just like being a leader in some other place, right? It
Right.
counts. It counts, right? So customer service experience plus Scrum Master certification is something
Mhm.
that a lot of people in here would want could look into.
Yes.
So yeah,
So what I was going to say, you don't have to have a skill to get a Scrum Master certification.
okay,
That's the thing about it. You can get your certification and learn what a Scrum Master is, what a Scrum Master does. You
Okay.
get the certification and then you apply it to the industry and area that best suits you, if that makes sense. Because you could be in any field. It's not dedicated to only one field or one area of expertise. So I don't want people to think, well, I don't like customer service. I'm not into customer service. I'm just saying from the standpoint of having that perspective of serving people and being a leader, even if you're not like a front facing type of, oh, I'm going to get you coffee or I want to answer the phone for you. So it's not one of those industries that you have to have that type of customer service.
Sure.
I would say the spirit of serving and leading.
Good. All right, wonderful. So there's a bunch of questions in the chat. We're going to get to you. I've started a whole bunch of questions. Now, can you tell us what Scrum Master certification looks like, the certification process itself? Because the job will require that we're certified. What will the job require from us, and how do we get it?
A certification. First of all, Stephanie, this is the easiest certification you can get. And I recommend that even if you're not transitioning a job or your career, that every woman have a Scrum Master certification
Okay.
because it's a 2-day certification, Stephanie.
Okay.
2 days. That is it. 8 hours for 2 days. Sometimes you can see some that are in the evening. They may be like a 4 hours, for 4 days or something like that. They break it down for those that may work during the day. But it's a 2-hour certification. And all you do is you go in there and they'll pull up the whiteboard. They'll have the class just like a Scrum team, and
Okay.
they'll walk you through the mechanics of being a Scrum Master. They'll walk you through the technical terms as far as like the product backlog and the sprint review, and so you can understand the concept and a framework. But what they'll tell you, it's lightweight, Stephanie. That's the great thing about this certification, is lightweight versus your project management certification that takes months, could
Yeah.
even take years. And then of course you fail the test and you have to go through it again. And I would say there is a test at the end, but it's like 50 questions, Stephanie, and everything that you go over. And we don't want to know what size the manual is.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I show you
You
that
have.
size?
We can't see your hand. We can't see your hand.
Oh, you can't see my hand? 19,
Okay.
19 pages? Not that a leaflet, right? It's a leaflet, and you can get it online, and that's what they teach you from. So it's a 2-day certification. It used to be about $1,500, which kept a lot of us out of it, Stephanie.
Okay.
After COVID, you can get one for $500. And I saw someone in the chat say there's one for $200. If it's under $500, I would say be careful unless they're running a sale.
Okay.
And I strongly recommend, one of the best places to get it from is like Scrum Alliance or scrum.org. I think Scrum Alliance is the best place because it keeps it simple. They're reputable, and it's easy. It's easy. I mean, you can go through SAFe and things. SAFe is a whole different ballgame. We could talk about that another time, but that's more rigorous, right? But if you stick with Scrum Alliance, you're pretty much going to have you are going to have everything you need with good reputable people. So if it's $200, you could chance it. I wouldn't recommend it unless they're having a sale, unless that instructor is having a sale, but you also want to learn at the same time.
Okay.
It's
So,
never seen it, never been involved with it at all.
so I'm on the Scrum Alliance site right now, and they've got price range $250 to $2,500.
So it depends on what type of certification you're getting.
Okay.
And because we're around the holiday, it's probably lower.
Okay.
So it's not typical, but it's probably lower.
Okay.
And I look at the ratings and the stars because, mind you, the trainers are contractors. So I would look at the ratings and the stars to make sure you're getting a good quality instructor because they can adjust their rates. You don't
Okay.
want to get someone for $250 and they don't teach you anything. They don't give you any resources,
Okay.
and they don't really develop your knowledge. So I will look at the ratings of it.
So they have a certified Scrum Master and then an advanced certified Scrum Master.
Yes,
Certified
yes.
is okay. We don't have to start with the advanced.
No, you shouldn't start with the advanced. And I want to say with the advanced, you have to be in the Scrum Master role for a year
Okay.
before you can get advanced. You have to prove that you have an actual Scrum Master role for a year. So you want to stick with just the CSM, which is a Scrum Master. because it's the first level into it.
Got you. Okay, so that's on Scrum Alliance's site. Do you happen to have an affiliate link for Scrum Alliance? I should.
I don't have an affiliate, and I knew you're going to ask me one. I can get one though.
You
I can
get
get like a referral code.
okay. So so on Scrum Alliance's website, they have a teacher and like they have teachers listed. You can see their score. The first man who came up has 842 reviews, five
Mm,
stars. His lessons are Wednesday, I guess Thanksgiving, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time,
mhm.
right? So they tell you when the lessons are, and this is online, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
live
all
on.
of it. Yeah.
So there's one man who does his for 5 hours each day live online. One man
Okay.
doing his for 7.5 hours each day, but they're all adding up to 16 hours, right?
Okay. Right.
Okay, there's some women in there. Okay. So
Mhm.
so we are looking at this certification as a way to get Scrum Master jobs. Are
Yes.
Scrum Master jobs, um, I've had a really good, somebody asked a couple of really good questions about the actual jobs. Can you get a Scrum Master job with a certification but no degree? I apologize, I'm house sitting a
You
dog.
can. I'm glad you asked that, Stephanie. That's a good question. So, a degree is not required. So, what you will see, sometimes they want you to have a computer science degree or some type of business degree, but it's not required. If you can show, like in your resume, your skills of being a Scrum Master, especially if you've already been a Scrum Master, it's easier.
Okay.
Now, of course, with anything, it's more competitive, but the more you build that signature block, the better it is for you. I call this signature block, right? Right after your name, having the certifications, the better it is for you. But no, you don't have to have a degree for it.
Last night, so this we're doing this today because I just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and then Yvette and I talked a couple of days ago, and last night was the Finding Remote Jobs workshop with Liberty
Mhm.
Loans for those people who had the All Access Pass to Exodus Summit 2024, right? So I'm
Yeah.
going to tip you to what if you weren't there, if anybody was there last night, let us know in
Mhm.
the chat who was there, okay? Who was there? But if you weren't there, I'm going to tell you something that she told us.
Mm.
You give yourself the job title even if it's not your technical job title, if it's
Mm.
the work you've been doing. If it's the work you've been, this is what them white people are doing that black women don't do. And then we wonder, how is he my boss when he is an idiot? Okay. His resume and his application and his whatever else he's had to do to get that job, he has given himself the job title that he's applying for in his previous roles, even
Yeah.
if that wasn't technically his job title, just because that's the work that he was doing. His title might have been customer service, but he was
Yeah.
leader on the team and he organized the this and the that and he did the Scrum Master
Mhm.
role. He is putting on his resume that he was a Scrum Master.
And that's the thing, Stephanie. So, okay, so you let the other cat out the bag. I can guarantee you all 500 something women right now have been a scrum master at some point in their life, whether it's been at their house, whether it's been at their church, whether it's been at their neighbor's party. You've all been scrum masters. And I promise you, if you took the course right now, you're like, this is what you're telling me. Yes. I helped lead a project. That means that one day when they said, I want you to go over and pick up that piece of paper and make sure everyone signs it. Yeah, you were the scrum master. Yes. What do you need? Yes, you were the scrum master. Why isn't this going anywhere? Why haven't we done this? Yes, you were the scrum master for that day. When
Yeah,
you told your boss, yeah, I did that. You just gave a daily update. You just did the daily stand up. Oh, what did we do last week? Yeah, you just did the retro.
yeah.
So, like, you just did all of it, and it's really just that simple. So, yeah, she's telling the truth.
That's
She
right.
really,
Right. So
yeah.
that's what she said. She's taught us in Exodus Summit almost every year. And what I know
Mm,
from learning from her over and over again is that we don't that we wait too long to apply for a job. We wait until we hit 100% of the job qualification.
exactly.
What when we look at a job qualification like a listing of whatever they're called. It's been such a long time since I've applied for. But when we look at that, what percentage of things do we need to qualify for before we start applying for that job.
And she's right, Stephanie. And that's why I tell people you don't have to wait to
Yeah.
become a Scrum Master to understand everything. Because once you go through the 2-day certification, you say, that's it. And this is a role that so many Black women have no idea about and they run from
Uh-huh.
because they hear the word technology.
Yeah.
Because they, oh, I have to code. No, you don't have to code. I got to be, no, you don't have to be a programmer. Now, do you want to watch a couple YouTube videos to maybe get some more understanding of the language? Yes. But trust me, it's not that it's not as hard as they make it. And being a scrum master is a lightweight, being an agile period is a lightweight framework. And
Okay.
Stephanie, they have conferences about this stuff all over the world.
Okay.
So it's just, and so we talk a lot about remote. It's international, it's global. So it's just not here in the United States, but it's everywhere. And you don't, that's just the floor. You can be, I'm also a certified agile coach. I'm also a certified product owner. So the sky's the limit as to what you can do and how you can pivot your career with this one simple certification.
Okay. All right. So, can you tell us the first Scrum job that you got after you got your certification? Okay, and then you got the Scrum Master job. What did the money look like then, and when was that?
So the money looked really good. The first one that I got was at Southwest because we pivoted from project manager to being, of course, what they call agile, being a scrum master. So
Okay.
that looked decent, right? Because I was starting to move into leadership and then become a supervisor. Then I left there, got out on my own. And that's when I said, I've been doing this my whole life, even after getting certified. And that's when I asked for $100,000 because I bet on myself and I said, I'm worth 100,000 plus. And so that looked like me getting my first six-figure job. They were going to offer me 90, but I said, I know I want 100,000.
Okay.
And they gave me 100,000. And after that, I just keep going up and up and up. So I think the highest I've gone up to is 120.
All right.
And that's before all of the degrees. And I get degrees now just because I love going to school and because I love being a professor. But that was before all the degrees and things of that nature. So I started out back then, Stephanie, I think I only had my associates. And that's because I got that when I was 19 or 20. So that was already in the books.
Okay.
But that was before all the degrees and everything.
Okay. We
Mm,
underestimate the skill set that we already have, right? We
exactly.
underestimate because it may be second nature to you, so we underestimate that. But you'd be surprised how many people want somebody to come in and
Mm,
navigate some stuff for them. They have people to do that work, but they need somebody to do the navigation. Someone asked earlier, isn't this a manager? But no, because the manager is usually a person who is is also the coder. Like if it's a coding team, the manager is also a coder. The manager doesn't have the cultural competency that you have. The manager doesn't have the customer service ability that
Yeah.
you have. The manager is probably not an effective communicator because this is a person, he or she was the coder and they just got promoted. They're not a
Yeah.
communicator, right? And so, yes, this is a skill set that people are paying for because they
Yeah.
understand the importance of it, but it's a skill set that we're probably underestimating.
And I want to say this also, Stephanie, as the scrum master, you don't make the decision. So you're a leader through influence, not by position or authority.
Yes.
So that's the difference as well. And most times your managers in these spaces, don't, they have some technical knowledge. They usually get promoted, Stephanie. What you'll see is because they've been there the longest
Mhm.
and they know how to work projects, not necessarily do they know how to be agile, right? It's very, very few of them. There are some things that you said that I wanted to highlight. Technical skills, technical. Also, you speak about this a lot. And what you don't know, there's a coach that can tell you. So that's why I got my agile coaching certification because people can tell you what to do. Experienced people can tell you what to do. Now, when you face, I'm telling you about the job and the role, but of course, when you're in corporate America, you could face the same things, right? That we face in that type of culture. That's why you get you a good agile coach that can tell you what you need to know and tell you how to navigate that, right? Which is why I got my coaching certification because managers, you're right, most of them don't know anything about leadership. They know how to do a task, and they're like, I'm the leader. No, you're not. You're a task manager. Like, so most of them, Stephanie, have no idea what their leadership style is. They're like, what, a who? Well, no, dictator is not the only thing. So that's why you get you a good agile coach to make it easier and go faster for you. Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I'm house sitting and the dogs were barky. All right, so we have a couple of different questions about age. How do you address someone who is concerned about either an age being older and people maybe not being so welcoming, or about having a gap on their resume or something?
Mhm.
How do you have some? I know it's individual, but is there something that?
Yeah, and, I think that goes the age thing goes flip side because people never realize I'm really 46 and I've done a million things in my life. So I deal with the age on the other side where they think I'm a little girl. And I'm like, no, I'm a really full grown woman. So with the age gap, I would say lean in, especially if you're older, lean into your experience, lean into those leadership skills and those skills of where if you have been a manager before, a lot of managers also become scrum masters because it's less stress, right? The job itself is less stress and you're not dealing with the top executive leaders. So if you're older, lean into that experience and speak to that and speak to how you've changed things, how you've grown teams, how you believe in high performance. So that's what I would lean into. What was the second part? The age, and what was the other one?
Age or gap in work gap?
So I believe there's an answer for every gap year, right? So whether it was a mom that was sick, or whether it was an aunt that was sick, or whether you had to, transition for family reasons, I would say find your best suitable answer because people are taking gaps all the time, right? So it was either, your mom you needed your support, or you're transitioning through a job, and who somebody said it, you can kind of fit those things together so it doesn't look as large of a gap. And I
Mhm.
also saw someone that said, it was like time off or something like that. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't let that deter you. That's what I would say. I wouldn't let age or a gap in work experience deter you whatsoever.
Yeah, you need to find the thing in that gap that they're going to like about that gap.
Mm,
If
yeah.
you were if you were not working, but you were running your own business, right?
Hmm.
Then you were a project manager and you were a scrum master and you were, right? You need to
Exactly.
find the thing that they're going to like. If you were out traveling, then and they want somebody with some cultural competencies, right? They want someone who can navigate people from different parts of the world, and then you
Yeah.
have to pull the thing out of the thing that you think might be a negative. You need to find what is the actual thing that they're going to love about that.
Exactly. And volunteering does count, Stephanie. So most women, when they have those gaps, they volunteer somewhere, right? If you volunteer somewhere, if you are at your local church and you still go to church and you're on the host team, well, you're the director of the host team.
Okay.
And you help bring the community together. And there's so many ways that we can represent a gap year on a resume besides saying I did nothing.
Yeah.
You there I would really fill that in with some volunteer work if you're doing something volunteer work, or if you're bringing the community together, you're the project coordinator for your local establishment. That just means y'all got together for drinks and coffee. So there's a lot of ways to use your words to your power.
All right, good. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go through some of your questions in the chat.
Okay.
Can you, one more time, can you explain to us, hey, Gami, can you explain to us how a Scrum Master is different from a project manager and how Scrum Master certification is different from project manager certification?
Yes. So they're completely different because, and so I might get a little technical here, so back me up if you need to, Stephanie.
Okay.
A project manager is all about the tasks, the budget, keeping things on budget, keeping all the tasks in order, making sure everything is heavily documented. A scrum master is concerned with the team to make sure that we're high performing, making sure the work is done. And it is not as restrictive of being a project manager. So I'm not concerned with documentation, documenting everything. I'm concerned with the people. I'm concerned making sure that our customer has the value they need. The project manager, I'm concerned about the timeline. I'm making sure everything's documented. I'm keeping all the records for everything, and I'm making sure that you're on track. So I'm hounding you, making did you get this on time? Is your piece of the project here? So they're different. I'm concerned. Scrum Master's concerned with the team. A project manager is concerned with the project. And I
Okay.
also want to delineate the fact that with a Scrum team and an Agile, we don't deal with projects, we deal with products. So it's a different mindset. So a product is, how can I make sure you have what you need, and how can I solve your problem? So we deal with, it's customer centered, right? How can I make sure that I deliver you the value you need from a customer standpoint to make sure you have everything you need in a timely fashion?
Okay. Okay. All right. PM is task related. Scrum is team. Task
Yes.
or team. Okay. And what is the
Yes.
difference in those certifications?
Oh my gosh. So with a project management certification, and so you could always transition, right, from project management to Scrum Master. But being a project manager, that certification takes months. You have to prove what projects you are on. You have to have that signed off. You have to go through the course. The test is so rigorous, Stephanie. It's ridiculous, right? It's a very rigorous certification.
Okay.
Scrum Master certification is 2 days, lightweight, like 2 days. And a project management certification is much more expensive, right?
Hmm.
Scrum Master, 2 days, and you're out of there. You go take your test, and that night you'll have your certification in your inbox.
Okay.
That's
Wonderful.
simple.
Wonderful. All right. So Michelle's question is, are there junior Scrum Master roles? I want to answer this myself.
Okay,
What I
go
want
ahead.
to say is, friend, don't count out the experience that you do have. If you're an adult person, find, instead of asking this question, ask yourself how you can present what you do, the experience you do have, in such a way that you are showing your qualifications.
Yes.
How do you feel about that answer?
I do, and I love the answer. And let me tell you why I would never apply for a junior Scrum Master role. You're going to do the exact same thing as a senior Scrum Master, because at the end of the day, they want to get something. You're there to provide a service, right? Why be a junior when you could just be a Scrum Master? And if you don't know, you can learn. If you don't know, the resources are there. This is not a secret. It's one of those roles and jobs that you can, there's so much information out there. You can find it. If they're doing it, you can find it. It's not like being a doctor, right? Or like being a surgeon, where like you got to really be in the operating room to see what's going on, because you have to put all the stuff together. No, it's not like that. So
Okay.
now I would not recommend, like you said, selling yourself short for maybe 50 or $60,000 to be a junior Scrum Master because you want to learn first. No, dive in, because you're like, that's it. This all? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Get somebody, get some support. So we're going to talk about vets coaching in a few minutes. Get some, if you're right now like hesitant and you're
Mhm.
interested, right? I'm not, this is not for everybody, but those of you who are interested but you're still hesitant, what you need probably is a second set of eyeballs on
Mhm.
your work history, right? On your skill set, to be able to point out to you what you're missing, and point out to you
Exactly.
what things you're going to need to focus and focus on and emphasize when you're
Mhm.
for and applying for and interviewing for these jobs, as
Exactly.
opposed to putting yourself on a track to not get these jobs. Get
Mhm.
support instead of cutting yourself short.
Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So Melanie says teachers would make a great scrum master.
Yes, I tell you all the time, they would make amazing scrum masters, right? Because with being a teacher, you have to have classroom management. You have to understand different behaviors. You have to understand how to make the complex simple. And that's where a lot of people miss. How do I make this complex theory very simple to you? Teachers would be amazing. And you have the patience and you have the care for people. And that's why it's easy for me to be a professor and a scrum master and put them together. Because, Stephanie, I promise you, I've done it to my class. I've made them all scrum masters in my class, right? And I say, now you can put on your resume, you have Scrum Master experience. I just told you how to run a great product and get it from start to finish. I just taught you that. And before it seemed overwhelming, right? But once I showed them a project management tool such as Jira and Trello, and then once I showed you where to put the information for a repository in Confluence, I use the Miro board. It's just that simple, fine tuning those details. So all my students can say they're Scrum Masters now. So,
Good. All right. So KO wants to know, is the market oversaturated? Lots of
I,
questions. Okay. First one for one at a time.
okay. I think so. I've heard that it is right, but I think it's all in how you market yourself. And with as I think the whole market is oversaturated. So I can't say it's just the Scrum Master market that because there's still people getting jobs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, was it more plentiful maybe 3 or 4 years ago just to get a job just like that? But that's the whole job market
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everyone's looking for jobs. So I would not necessarily, I would not want to put out there that the market is oversaturated right now, because when you put your qualifications next to someone else's, then that's where the competition comes in with the job. So I would not say that it's oversaturated. Is it a lot out there? Yes, but you could tell the real from the fakes. So yeah.
Is this completely remote?
So there is remote, and then of course there is in office. So it depends on what the organization wants. So there are some remote first organizations, and then there's some that want you to be in office.
Hmm.
So it depends on what the organization wants.
Do you coach people on how to find remote first employers?
I
Help.
can. So that's not, my focus, but I can, right? I think someone in the comments said, where do you find these jobs? LinkedIn, Indeed, Flex Jobs, and just typing in remote, and then you can see what remote Scrum Master jobs there are out there for you. And I know with Flex Jobs, they even have them where they're international, where they're work from anywhere. I was on LinkedIn the other night, and I want to say it was Spring. I want to say Spring, which is a mental health organization. They had one in like Boca Raton or something like that. So you can find them all over the world.
Okay, thank you. Now, if anyone is looking to pair this with a truly remote job, Libria just did our workshop last night, Libria Jones, on finding remote work. So I would pair these two things together, use her replays of the finding remote work session that we just went through yesterday, plus this new information to find a remote Scrum Master position, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
so that is anyone with the All Access Pass will be sent the replays once the replays are out in the world. Everyone with the All Access Pass will get the replays, and you can get your All Access Pass at ExodusSummit.com. So once I was going to say something good. I'm pretty sure of it. Okay,
Oh,
but yeah, I would pair if you want. Oh, another option. So another option is if you're making enough money. Okay,
mhm.
are these jobs ever contract where you can do it, make good money, and then not work for a while?
Most definitely. There's so many good contracting companies out there. So like there's Apex, which is a good company. There's what is I can't oh, it just slipped my it was on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it starts with a K. But yeah, and the easiest way to get into them is through a contracting company because most organizations want to try before they buy, right? So you get with a good contracting company, you get you a good contract for 6 months or a year, and most times that's good enough for you. So if you want to stay, you can stay. If you don't, you don't have to. And Stephanie, I saw a comment in the chat.
Yes.
Alicia Cooper, she says, I have the CSM and the SSM, and
Okay.
it's worth the time and it does pay off in a short amount of time. So, and I have both of those certifications, the CSM and the SSM. And
CS
I'll touch
Certified Scrum Master. What's SSM?
is the SAFE certified Scrum Master, right? The SAFE Scrum Master. SAFE is okay. So this goes into military, right?
Okay.
I promise you, whoever made SAFE, and that's capital S, capital A, capital F, lowercase e,
Okay.
right? So SAFE, if you've never been in Scrum before, that could be overwhelming
Okay.
because huge and it's robust. But if you ever, I was in the army, right? So it took me right back to my military days with the rigor. Like, you're going to do this here, this here. It's like dress right, dress for everything. But I love SAFE because it gives you templates. That right there, that certification is worth it. If you're really, if you already dipped your toe in and you just want to jump head first, you get that certification because it's going to give you the templates. It's going to give you what to say. It's going to tell you how to overcome the objections. It's going to tell you exactly how to run your meeting. It's going to break down the time frame for you. So and it gives you like a huge framework, right? Like, you can see this framework on the screen. You could click on any role and it'll break it down for you, like verbatim and very deeply. So it's really nice. But I warn people, if you've never done Scrum before, that's going to be overwhelming. Like, Yvette lied to me. So that could be overwhelming. So I would start with the
The easy.
CS and gradually go there. But they're both great to have on your resume because a lot of your big organizations, such as like USA, even Southwest Airlines, they want that SSM certification. They
Okay.
know that's the heavy hitter right there.
Okay, so we get our Scrum Master certification. We get a Scrum Master job that pays us well. We work,
Yes.
we want to, and then we take a break. We take our career break,
Yes.
right? And then
Mhm.
maybe we reevaluate and decide if we want the SAFE certification, and then
Yes,
try that.
most definitely.
Like,
Because you're going with the safe, you're going to work because it is more rigorous, right? And
okay,
like I said, a lot of your major organizations, the work is more in depth, right? So they're going to pile it on. Most people, they're trying to squeeze as much out of you as they can, and that's what the safe does for you.
okay, okay.
Mm.
All right. Let me get back to the questions. Okay. So, and then I think we answered all of KO's questions. Is the market oversaturated? Is this completely remote? Is the certification transferable abroad?
Yes, most definitely.
So, if you get this certification in the U.S. and you want to apply to an international company, go for
You
it.
yes. So like you have companies like Deloitte, Accenture, right, that are international and they do contracting work. So it's not just centered in the US, it is international. So being a Scrum, and because most times, honestly, Stephanie, some of your instructors and trainers are overseas. They may be in
Yeah.
any part of the world. So
Yeah.
it's not
A lot
just
of
for
them.
the US. Yeah. So it's not like where you get one license here and it's only for here, only for the US. No, take this everywhere and anywhere you want to go.
Okay. But most of us here would want truly remote. I'm guessing, or maybe not, maybe not.
Or
But yeah,
maybe hybrid. They do hybrid as well.
okay. Thank you. All right. Lisa says her project manager started at 90 and her Scrum Master started at 100 5 years ago. Acquired the
Mhm.
certification and then trained them on the job. Most people from other departments transferred to her department. I would too for 100K. If you're gonna train me on the job, I don't even need to know what I'm doing.
Because
Okay.
being a project managers is much harder and the responsibilities are bigger, right? And they're broader and you're managing like the stakeholders and the timelines. So that's a whole different beast. It's a whole different beast.
So let's flip that then. Karen is finishing her project manager certification in June. Should she, or she, no, just finished it in June.
Okay.
Congratulations, Karen.
Congratulations.
So then should she add on Scrum too? 2 days?
Oh,
Why not?
yes. Yes, ma'am. Because she'll be versatile, right? Because she'll be able to speak a different language. Project managers usually are A type of people, like A type.
Mhm.
Um,
Take
because your personality has to be a lot different being a project manager. Um, very stern, right? Very rigid. Where being a scrum master, you understand the world differently and you understand it from the team perspective and bringing teams together. So those two together, oh yes, ma'am, it's like you can't be touched. So yes, and I mean project management I think is still good.
Mhm.
I still teach it and I think there's some things that of course are transferable and good to know because depending on where you want to go with your career as a scrum master, it makes you more marketable and they see you in a different light. So it depends on what you want to do with it.
Okay. Okay. I think I had something good to say there too. Okay, good. So, AC Multi World, how do you find work after getting the certification? So you told us LinkedIn.
hmm I would even recommend Indeed. Indeed is a great place to start. I found my success on Indeed. Even like I don't find much luck with LinkedIn, no matter how much I apply. That's just been me. I found several of my Scrum Master jobs through Indeed, and I found that to be successful for me. Even Flex jobs, Flex and Dice. Dice is another great place. And they have a lot of remote work. They have a lot of remote work and they have a lot of contract work. So I would start there. Also looking with, like I said, Accenture and Deloitte. Those are two major contract companies that a lot of organizations use.
Okay. All right. Are
Mhm.
y'all taking notes? Okay. And Cree Girl says Flex Job is the Flex Job website a job you can trust because there is a fee for Flex Jobs. You trust
Yes,
it?
I would trust them, and actually, I heard about them from Libya, and so I would trust them. And it was started by a woman that wanted more time with her family. And if you look at it, the same job is on LinkedIn and Flex Jobs and Indeed. So yes, I would trust them.
Good. Okay. So Dice, Rhonda says Dice is really good for contracts. All right.
Most
And another vote for Dice. Hey, Chanel. Chanel says good for professionals with a security clearance as well.
yes.
Good, good. And Nikki Natasha, Dice is great for tech and contract work. Okay. I've never even heard of them. Okay. Good, good, good.
And they're on Lazy Apply as well. So I know Libria talks about Lazy Apply. So Dice is on Lazy Apply as well. And someone said about the security clearance. They even have it where they're in the military. So they have contract jobs with the military that are scrum masters. Now, if you're going with the military, I would say use the SAFE because the military is rigorous and it's going to give you more information and details. So if you're going to go the heavy duty route, I would say go with SAFE.
Okay. So, Nandi, just scroll up. So, some of the women in this chat right now have done this work. And so, they're
Mm,
putting out the sites for you, right? So, you're asking, can we spell out the site? So, just scroll up in the chat, and women have given you everything. We don't
mm,
have um, so I'm gonna put some stuff in the description, okay? But the women here know better than me. So they're giving you the right answers. I'm just gonna scroll, I'm just gonna go use this chat to try to put the things in the description later, okay? All right. So scroll up. All right. So I think we got through the first round of questions that I have starred. I didn't ask you how much time you have, and you know it's an
I'm
hour.
good. No, I'm good. The kids are enjoying themselves, so I'm good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then we've talked about the certification. We've talked about finding work after the certification. We've talked a little bit about the pay.
hmm
Can you tell us when a scrum on a day, your last scrum master position,
Mm-hmm.
what did the day look like for you?
The day looks like logging into your computer remotely, starting to look at what the team is doing. So let me break that down. So everything that we do is in what they call a project management tool. So at one organization, I use Trello. Most organizations use Jira. So know that for Stephanie, I lost a job because I didn't know which project management tool to say. So they say, what project management tool are you familiar with? I always say Jira, right? And
Okay.
then just have somebody teach you Jira or watch a YouTube video. So Jira is the project management tool, right? So you go into the project management tool and you have different, they call them either swim lanes or different columns. And you're looking at what do we have to do for the day? What has the team done? And most of them are offshore. So most of them are probably working while we're sleeping. So you're looking at, okay, are we moving along in the process, right? So and you see what questions am I going to ask the team when we do our daily stand up? So every story, they call them stories, are tasks. They're on our board, right? A Jira board. And the story will tell you what you need to do. And then the acceptance criteria says, all right, have we completed it yet? So you're just going through that and you're going through the stories, going through the Jira board, and then you go into your daily stand up and you let every team. There's so many ways you could do it, like the popcorn method, or they can go around. I like the popcorn method because it makes everyone talk
Okay.
because most developers are introverts. and they don't want to talk. They don't like to talk. They want to sit behind their computer and they just want to code and leave me alone, right?
Mhm.
And so most of the scrum masters are like, nice, bubbly people and want to bring everybody together, good morning, And so you do your daily stand up. And then there's other tasks that the organization wants you to do. You look at that as well, right? Whether it's a refinement, are we going to refine our stories to make sure that we understand what the request is? Is there stakeholders that we need to help connect with? The biggest thing I can say is have a connection with the product owner, right? The
Okay.
product owner is similar, but not a project manager, right? So I
Okay.
don't want to get
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
Product owner, they own the product, it's their baby, and they're going to say, we're going to take this to market, right? Having a good relationship with them, communicating with them, seeing how you can help them and support them, how you can refine the stories. And then, of course, seeing how you can help the team. And updating this information, right? So you keep the repository in Confluence. So the interview question is, well, what type of repository do you use? Where do you put this information? Your answer is Confluence. So that's your answer. So your two answers are Jira and Confluence. So you make sure Confluence is up to date because you're responsible for that, making sure all the information is in there so everyone has access to it and they have the openness to it. So
Okay.
can I give them one more tip, Stephanie? And
Please.
so you interview when they say, "What is your favorite ceremony?" You should say the retrospective. So everything we do in Scrum is called a ceremony.
Ah,
Whether our daily stand up, our sprint review, our retrospective, our demo, everything is called a ceremony. Your answer as a Scrum Master is, "My favorite ceremony is the retrospective." And they're going to say, why? Because that way we can know where we can improve and what things we can work through. And it helps our team become better together. They're going to be like, oh my God, really? Don't ever say the daily stand up. Yours is the retrospective. So it's like sergeant's time in the military, right? Or if you come off of a mission in the military and be like, what do we do? What did we just do? That's called a retrospective. That's how all your skills
the
are
acronym. Yeah.
transferable. Yeah, the AAR is, except now they do is change the words to this stuff.
Okay.
Just change the words.
Okay, a Black woman veteran who is watching this video. Okay, I'll pay for your certification if you don't have the money. Okay, email
Mm.
Stephanie at vicarious.com. Only one Black woman veteran. Email Stephanie at vicarious.com if you don't have the money to pay for your certification. So,
Instead, can I match that? If whenever that Black woman emails you, you pay for her,
uh-huh.
make sure she contacts me. I'll tell her exactly what to say, what not to say. And I will coach her the whole way through. And I will tell her how everything she did in the military is exactly being a scrum master. So
Okay.
I will coach her for at least like the first, if she's never done it before, it doesn't matter. I will coach her for the first 2 months of her getting the job. I'm serious because it's just that good. It really is.
All right, great, great. We talked about the certification Scrum Alliance.
Mhm.
Some of it, because this is a live stream, some of you didn't hear from the beginning. I would start from the beginning. Okay, I would start from the beginning.
Mm.
Scrum Alliance is where we talked about the certification. Generally, certifications start at $500. There are different teachers on Scrum Alliance. When you go to the website, you'll see what we're talking about. But but I think if you missed the beginning, a thing that you missed is that this is a soft skills job.
Mhm.
And we downplay often our soft skills, but these people need those soft skills.
Those, yeah.
Nowadays they call them like the personality hire, right?
Mm.
Have y'all heard that term? She's a personality hire. She's not here to do the work. She's here to make this a better place, right?
That is so needed, Stephanie, because mental health is such a critical aspect right now in the world. They need more scrum masters, especially after what we've come through, right? And where we're about to go in. That's why you can transition this into anything you want it to be.
Okay. So you said that some of the skills that make a good Scrum Master:
Leader.
leadership, right? Customer service, cultural competency, being able to navigate people of different cultures, effective communication, and someone who asks questions, a question asker.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
That's black
And
women, okay?
let me tell you, Stephanie, one time I had a manager because I was asking a whole bunch of questions, right? And he was like, he said to me one time, like, I was wondering why you asking those questions because you didn't know what we were talking about. Well, you don't know. I don't know because you don't know what I do behind the scenes. And then once I explained to him why I was asking the questions, because all I need you to do is think about what you're doing because you're so used to doing it. So you
Right.
ask a lot of questions to get the developers to think in a different way. So all you're doing is asking questions so you can open up the mindset to grow. That's it. I mean, I don't know how to execute it, but I just need you to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset where you're not willing to grow and develop.
This is really, I really, listen, I was in that conference, I was in Author Nation, and the woman
Mm,
said she's wasted her time on the project manager certification, when
mm,
really what she really liked was being a scrum master. And then she described it to me. I
mm.
was like, and then she was talking about it was good money. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. I know some people. Let me get some people on this. So thank you very much, Yvette, for helping us with this. So Britt reminded me that your employer may pay for your certification.
Oh,
So
most definitely. Because you can use it as a training tool, right? Or like the educational tool they have. I saw someone say that they got theirs at Southwest. When Southwest Airlines first started rolling out Agile and they started getting, that's how I got it, Stephanie. When they started getting safe, they were paying for your certifications. I don't know if they still do it now just because so much has changed. But yeah, a lot of employers pay for it, especially when the whole company is going to an agile methodology, whether it's SAFe or Scrum Alliance. Most companies will go through SAFe first.
all right. So
Mhm.
Libria yesterday gave everyone a list in the Finding Remote Jobs workshop for the Exodus Summit 2024 All Access Pass holders. Yesterday,
Mm.
she gave a list of employers that are like remote. Was it remote first? Right?
Remote first, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So there, that would be another list that you would want to cross-reference. So you would want to look at who's converting to or who is using this methodology, right? Who is using this, because it's not something that everyone does, but there are people, right? So what employers are using this methodology, and I would cross-reference that with who is remote first,
Exactly.
or not, again, or not. If the money's good enough, maybe you work for half a year and then you leave. Maybe you take contracts and then you
Mhm.
go back and forth.
That's what a lot of people do, Stephanie. They'll take a contract, a good size contract for a year, and then, leave it and then come back. And
Hmm.
so you don't have to stay. And that's the great thing about contract work, because if you don't like it, your contract is over soon and you ain't got to deal with them folks.
That's right.
Because I mean, with anything, so I don't want people to be jaded, like, oh my God, it's a utopia. The job itself is wonderful, but as everything, you have to deal with people sometimes.
Yeah.
So you have to be patient with that, right? And that's where a good agile coach comes in that you can vent to, that can help you through those and navigate those things. So you don't have to spew that out to the people you work with, especially if you're in a contract job where you're servicing the client, right? So that's something to consider.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Duania, hi. Duania Wilson wants to know, are you taking coaching clients? She is changing careers from being an actor.
Of course, I'm always taking coaching clients. That's my big thing, right? I love to help women transition to where they should be and where they need to be. Because a lot of times we aren't successful because we're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're in the wrong seat on the bus. So yes, I'm always taking clients, and I would love to help you transition. Most definitely, I've transitioned many a time, so I know how to get that done. I know how to get a transition done, and
Good.
I know how to get what I want. So if I want it, I'm gonna get it.
Good.
I
All
know
right.
how to get it.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Real quick. Thank you, Britt. Yeah, I saw your comment, so thank you for that. But that reminded me that a lot of people's employers might pay for their certification. Britt saying
Mhm.
you're a disabled veteran with with a certain percentage, the VA might pay for your certification as well. Find somebody to pay for your certification, right? If it's
Exactly.
not me, find somebody to pay for your certification.
Yes.
Or unless if you want to pay for it yourself, right? But if you don't,
Mhm.
if you're right now in the chat being like, I want to do it, but I don't have it,
Mhm.
fine. Who will pay for it? Find an employer,
Exactly.
find somebody who's going to pay for that for you. So
They'll their way.
that has some resources to give to us today. All right. So
Mhm.
if so, that has a resource called Unlock Your Salary Negotiation Potential.
Mhm.
She just told us they offered her 90K, and she was like, no, I want to be in the six-figure column. Thank you.
Exactly.
Right.
Mhm.
So Tell us about this.
You know what, Stephanie? Because one thing I say is women don't like to negotiate their salary, and we always underestimate ourselves, right? And it started with me years ago in my first six figure job. I'm like, no, they offer me 90. I'm good. No, you're not. You need to start at six figures. So with that resource, I help you navigate that, get through the mindset that you don't deserve six figures, and honestly give you true resources to help you navigate and say, I need six figures. This is how I want it. So you can really get started to negotiating it. And so it could feel good to you on the inside.
All right.
And it's as easy as those six steps that I mentioned in how to negotiate your salary.
All right. So Vett Jett's YouTube channel, my whatchamacallit, my autocorrect is like not vet. Any
Save it
word
on-
but vet. Any word but vet. Okay. So Vett Jett's YouTube channel is Vett Jett, the Vett Jett Show. She's easy
Yeah,
to find on YouTube. What do you talk about on your channel?
I talk about, I tell people it's the secrets. It's the secrets that they don't tell you in corporate America. Because I can guarantee you everything that you've gone through, it's either in a book or I promise I've gone through it. So that's what I talk about, giving women the secrets and the tips that they don't tell you in corporate America to make it easy for you. Because it can be hard, right? The truth is, corporate America is not friendly to us. And as Black women, if I can tell you how to make it easy, I can guarantee you give me the scenario and I can tell you exactly why they're doing it and what they're going to do next. And I
Mhm.
can tell you what to say and what not to say, what to do and what not to do. So I call myself like your corporate best friend. So that's what I talk on there about, and about stress and how to get through that stress. I think my last video was, is that stressful job killing you? It probably is. Let's find you something better and find you something easier. So
Mhm.
I give you the secrets that they're not telling you.
And then you have put together a Black Friday bundle.
I did. Oh my goodness, Stephanie, this is a steal, right? This is a steal because it's six-figure salary in a box. And honestly, it's the steps that I help so many women with, just optimizing your LinkedIn profile, helping you with your interview tips, helping you with your resume. My organization, we have a resident resume writer that will help you audit your resume. So once you get the certification and like that, I'm ready to be, a Scrum Master. My resident resume writer can help you navigate that, right? So this bundle is for Black Friday. It's a sale now through Black Friday, and it is amazing, and it will help you get the six-figure salary you deserve, because it starts with a mindset. I think you talked about it so much on here. We as women don't believe we deserve it, right? But this bundle lets you know that you deserve a six-figure salary, and it's all in a box. So I keep it simple.
Yeah.
And I also have it where you can have one-on-one coaching with me. So we're not going through a whole bunch of sheets and we're not going to write down a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm going to give you the affirmations. I'm going to give you the coaching. We're going to look at the skill sets. We're going to look at your LinkedIn to get you that six-figure salary that you truly deserve. And I'm going to help you make the corporate life easy till we get out and move to another place, right?
Yes.
Let's make our money now, and then we can get out and go do what we want to do.
Yes, it can be easy. We can have the easier path, right? We can take the easier path to that exit. Yes,
Exactly.
indeed. Okay, great. Thank you. Now, wait. You didn't send me. Is there still gonna be some sort of challenge?
Oh, I didn't. Yes. Oh my goodness. So yes, I didn't send you that. I apologize. I did
No,
write
no,
down
no.
the.
No, no, no. You don't have to send it. You don't have. I don't think you need to send me anything. Do you have
Okay.
something to send me
Perfect.
about the challenge?
No, I could tell you about the challenge. So, yes, it is going to be the Scrum Master Toolkit. Oh my goodness. Now I like this challenge. I'm doing it right before the holiday. So, it's the six-figure Scrum Master Toolkit.
Okay.
Oh my, I'm really excited about this toolkit because it's everything that one I wish I knew when I started years ago. So
Okay.
we're going to go through one, how to help you pass your tests. We're going to talk about what the job really looks like. So I gave you an overview of what the day looks like, but we're going to deep dive into the day. So when you day one, whether you had a Scrum Master job or not, I'm going to tell you how to do it day one. I'm even, and this is going to be hands on because on the third day, we're going to get hands on. I'm going to show you JIRA. I'm going to show you how to open and close a sprint. I'm going to show you how to put the labels on stuff. I'm going to show you how to put I'm going to get deep with it, right? Because you're like, what is she talking about? I'm going to show you all of it. I'm going to show you how to set up your Confluence page. I'm going to show you the things that would take you years to learn and then get you ready for that interview. So what you do, you come to me. We'll do this six-figure Scrum Master toolkit. I'll give you, and that's where I'm gonna give you templates. I'm gonna give you templates and scripts. I'm gonna tell you what kind of people you can expect to see and what to say to them. I'm gonna tell you what kind of managers you can expect to see, especially as a Black woman, and
Uh-huh.
because they know you're making six figures. I'm gonna tell you what to say and how to act with them, and I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you how to do that JIRA, and then you go get your certification and you get you a six-figure Scrum Master job
Okay.
in the area that you want to go into. So I'm gonna give you all of that information.
If you are the queen of soft skills, right? If you have leadership experience, or if you are a leader, right? And if you have some customer service experience, if you're an effective communicator, if you have some cultural competency, if you can navigate people from different cultures and different places in the world,
Mhm.
if you are a question asker, right? If you can prod people a little bit, get some answers to some questions,
Mm,
will be interested.
yeah.
And if you're, no, not that's what I'm saying. If those things, right? If that's you and you're interested, okay,
Mhm.
then you'll want to be in it's called Six-Figure Scrum Master Toolkit. It's like
Mhm.
but you said before the holiday. Before what holiday?
Before the holiday. So yeah, so I wrote the dates down because I said I know I'm gonna forget. So it's gonna be December 12th to the 14th. And
Ah,
they're gonna, yeah.
okay.
It's gonna be in
I'm
the
excited
evening.
about that. I apologize for yelling.
No, you're good. And it's going to be in the evening because I know, most people work and I want you to be able to get everything you need. Or no, am I going to do lunchtime? Either in the evening or lunchtime. I haven't decided yet 'cause I want to make it accessible for everyone.
Okay.
And so, you don't have to leave.
This and the certification will be separate. If
Yes.
Inspired Soul wanted to get her certification this weekend, perhaps you could
Yes.
still come to the boot to the
You need to come because you're gonna get there and you're like, what am I doing? So this toolkit is going to tell you everything that you need. So all you got to do is flip your paper. Yes, this is what I'm going to say
okay.
today. This is the question I'm going to ask. This, and Vett just told me what I can expect when they say this, this, and this. So you go in there like a pro. I want to make it easy for you, and I want you to look like a pro that's been doing it for years, and especially if you're just getting started. And I
So
want you to feel comfortable and confident
mhm,
around people that know more than you do about what they're doing.
mhm.
So I don't want any imposter syndrome. I want you to go in with confidence and the courage you need to be a great Scrum Master.
That's right. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. Some of you right now are like, I can do this, right?
Hmm.
I can get the certification, I can do this, but then I don't know how to do it after I get the job. I don't know what to do when
Yes.
I get the job. So
And I'm a,
there's a two-parter, right? Two-parter,
yes.
the certification and the training, the certification and the training. All right,
Hmm.
two parts. And you're saying to do, but which would you prefer? Would you prefer people do their certification before they come or wait until after working with you to get their certification?
I would prefer them work with me
Okay.
first and then get the certification. So this is the way I designed it. Come to me first and get like all the nitty gritty, right? And then when you go to the training class, like, oh, she just said that. It was just that easy. She was right. So then it brings it together and it makes it easier, right? Especially as adult learners, right? You hear something for the first time, you're going to probably be overwhelmed depending on who the instructor is, right? So it's going to be hard to understand. And some people never do anything with this certification.
Okay.
But and in the class, in the training, they're going to put you in groups and everyone might be quiet. They may not say anything. So you might not get everything from, but you can go in there like the pro you are and be like, oh, yes, let's do this. So you can get the most out of the training and you can understand what's going on, if that makes sense. I'm trying to put that gently. I hope I'm
Yes.
doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So now, but there's no link for that yet, or there is, and I just didn't get it.
N Oh, no, there isn't a link for
Okay,
that
there's no
one.
link for that yet, so we talked about this. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
okay, it's coming back to me. So what you're going to do, friends, if you're interested in the six-figure Scrum Master Toolkit, the challenge is happening December 14th, 12th through 14th. What you're going
14.
to do is get on Yvette's email list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she's going to email everyone many, many times, not just once, many
Many,
times
many
to
times,
let you
yes.
know that it's time. The way that you get on her email list is here by getting her download Unlock Your Salary Negotiation Potential. Even if
Exactly.
you're not necessarily interested in this thing, even if right now you're like, I don't need a salary negotiation support, right? Even if you're
Mm.
not interested, download it to get on the list so that you'll be emailed when it's time to sign up for the whatchamacallit. My Shay, girl, me and Shay are going through it in the comments right now, trying to block. It's
Oh, really?
somehow he's gotten unblocked. I don't
Oh,
know, girl.
I
Thank you.
saw him. That is so
Thank you,
funny.
Shay. Thank you. Okay. All right. So that's what I would do. Michelle says she just did it. Thank you. Okay. So I would go to leadership.vettjet.com/negotiation. I would get
Yes,
her free download. That's going to put you on her newsletter. That now, when it's time to sign up for the boot camp, she will email you. I would
yes,
also follow her on these other platforms. So I would still follow her also on Instagram because she'll be posting about it other places too.
most
You
definitely.
don't want to miss it. Okay? You don't want to miss it. I think that sometimes when you hear about something brand new, there are people who have the audacity, right? But there are some, right? And they're like, "Oh, done. I'm applying. I'm changing my resume. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to do right." There, some of us are those people, but some of us are also. I need to walk through this a little bit more to make sure I know what I'm doing, so that
Yes,
when I show up, I can show up feeling more confident. Sometimes the not sometimes the way to feel confident to do something new is to have already done it. And that's why you do things that include some role play and some practice and getting you.
most definitely.
All right. So it's okay to be like, I want to do this, but man, I don't know. I need some extra help. Get your
And
extra help.
and on my channel, I do have a video about it. I want to say it's like the six-figure job that you never knew existed.
Yes.
Scrum Master is it for you?
Yes. Yes. So that video, I meant to put that on here. I'm sorry. Keep talking. Say some more things.
So I did that video because a lot of women don't even know that this exists, and it is a six-figure job that can really change your life. And I tell people all the time, being a scrum master was the starting point that changed me and my family's life, right? Like I said, I only had an associate's when I started because I went right after high school back in 1996, but it changed my life as a single mom. And working remotely as a single mom changed my life, and being in a leadership role because I love leadership so much, it gave me that fulfillment, right? And then it just lets me be who I am. That's what I love about it, Stephanie. It lets me be who I am because I'm not hiring and firing people. I don't have to do all that, right? But it would let me be who I am in the role that is best for me. And that's why I love Agile. That's why I love Scrum, because there's a fit for you. So maybe you're more businessy, you want to be the product owner, maybe that's for you. So there's so many things you can go into. And then I love being the agile coach because I love helping people learn and appreciate being agile. And that's what being a scrum master is about, being agile and having that growth mindset.
Good. All right. Thank
Mhm.
you very much. Thank you. So I've linked to that video if you want to hear more and without me being in the way, if you want to hear more about the role of Scrum Master and about the Scrum Master certification, I've linked to Yvette's video, Six Figures in a Role You've Never Heard of. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'll put that in the description of this video as well.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Okay, friends, listen, hit the like button before you go and save this, share this with somebody. So what question did I not ask friends in the community and you, Yvette? What question did I not ask that you would like to hear answered? What else do we need answered before we go?
What else do we need answered? Um, what is the best thing you like about it, right? Besides the money.
Okay.
And I want to say the best thing I like about it, because I like to teach people, when you see the light bulb go on and you finally see someone that loves agile and scrum like you do, people that didn't buy into it,
Okay.
finally getting the buy-in from them. And they're seeing an easier and better way to work. Like that is the biggest gratification when a team finally says thank you. Oh, I like
Uh,
that.
uh,
That's the biggest satisfaction and gratification. when you like, okay, I've done my job. I can go home now.
Good.
I can go home now. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. So you can, there is such a thing as work that you that you like doing, right?
Yeah.
You show up and you're like, man, I really helped these people get this together. Look at me,
We
right?
got this together. And then you know what? I think and when you start to get really good at it and you understand the technical language, and then you become that scrum master that understands the technical and the business, and you're like dual lingual, right? You're bilingual now. You're like, okay, I understand what you're saying from a technical standpoint. I
Mhm.
also understand what this means to the business. And you merge those two worlds together, it gets fun.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So a couple of more questions in the chat about how to get on the email list so that they don't miss out on the toolkit that you're doing December 12th through 14th. So the
Yes,
December 12th through 14th is when it's happening.
it's
Okay.
happening.
And you'll want to get on her list so that you'll be one of the people that she emails about it. And the way that you do that is you go to this link, leadership.vetjet.com/negotiation. I'll put it in the description. Click on this link so that you get her free negotiation download, and that will mean that you'll hear from her in your inbox so that
Yeah.
when December 12th comes, you have a seat. Okay. You want to have a seat.
You have a seat, yes.
Okay.
And I saw someone say they just saw a job with a pay range of 170 to 238. And yes, they're out there.
Yeah, right. So what you want to do is make sure that you're positioning yourself in the right way to get it. Certification alone, for some of you, the certification alone, you're good. But some of
Mhm.
you will need some support in how to position yourself because your resume is not going to look like a Scrum Master. Your LinkedIn is not going to look
Exactly.
like a Scrum Master yet. You need somebody to help you with those things. So
Mhm.
get support. Get support. You know,
I'm
I
here to support you.
right. Make more money is the key to a lot of things in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if your contract was even a 100K contract for 6 or 8 months or even a year. How
Yes.
much would you not then need to work for the next period of time, right? Maybe you
Oh,
work for 6 months and you off for 6 months, or maybe you work for a year and
exactly.
you're off for a year, and you repeat over and over.
It's
What would that
repeat.
do? Yeah. What would that do? And mix in a little house sitting, right? When you do have to work in the US, but you don't pay for a place to stay, girl. We're putting
Yes.
these pieces together for you.
Together. I love it, Stephanie. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so where do they come to you? You do not reach out to Vet personally for free coaching, but what you do is you follow her on her YouTube channel and on her Instagram. I've linked to those a couple of times. Her YouTube channel is the Vett Jett Show. You go
Mhm.
to those places where she's putting out good information, and you receive the good information that she's putting out, and then you sign up for the things when she offers the things. Inside of her newsletter, she'll be giving you good info. So you've
Mhm.
got a newsletter list when you downloaded her negotiation toolkit or negotiation information. So the email, YouTube, Instagram are places where she's giving out good information.
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
And then if you need additional coaching from her, the challenge is coming up. She's got a bundle for Black Friday, which is here. Okay. If you want additional coaching for her, these are the places that you go to pay for those things.
Ooh. And Stephanie, there was a good I did a video about that. Is it Tanya? Tana? I've been playing it too low, too long, being humble. Why? I did a video about that. That they tell women to be humble, but they never tell men. When have you heard a man say to his homeboy, "Oh man, they told me to be humble today"? Never. But they tell women you need to be a little bit more humble. I say get what you want, get what is for you,
Yeah,
because what is for you is for you.
that's
And
right.
it doesn't mean that you don't have humbleness, right? Or you don't have any gratitude, but
Right.
you what you deserve. You worked for it. You're striving for it. Get it. Don't play big. How great is the world when you play big, right?
Yeah.
You get what you want.
Yeah.
Get what you want. And if you want 6 figures, get it. So manifest it and make it happen.
Uh-huh.
Yes, don't play small.
Don't play small. So Yvette's intentionally living today. Hi, welcome. Yvette is doing a like a boot camp or a challenge or a something on December 12th through 14th, but there is a certification for Scrum Master, right?
Yes.
So you get the certification through Scrum Alliance, and
Yes.
teaching a toolkit slash boot camp slash challenge on December 12th through 14th. Okay.
Yes. And I'm going
Okay.
to teach you all the things. I'm going to teach you all the things. So there'll be no secrets. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. And if you come across something I may have missed, just like let me know, and I can tell you exactly what to say. So I'll make it easy for you. I believe in the shortcuts. Make it easy.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the cheat sheet and the answers.
Okay, so I said there was a two-part process, get the certification and then get the support. But there's a three-part process, which is come back and let me know. Okay, what
Yeah.
happened after Exodus Summit 2022 when women got some coaching on career stuff is that at least one woman, right? But some women reached out and were like, here's how my salary has increased, okay? Or here's how I've started making money. So I remember one particular was a salary increase, a significant
Mhm.
doubled her salary.
Wow.
Was selling, I'm gonna tell you, selling feet pics online gave her enough money to take a wonderful international trip, right? But
Really?
sometimes y'all forget to tell me what you've done. So do the
Wow.
things, take the action, but also part three is tell me. Okay, let us know what successes you've had. By me, this time I mean me and Yvette. Okay, tell
Yeah,
us, report back to us, please.
please
Because
do.
listen, I want to know. I want to know what's happened. Okay.
Inquiring minds wants to know. I want to know.
Yes. Okay. I think this was awesome. And I appreciate you for joining us, everybody. I appreciate y'all for joining us in the middle of the day. Take some action and let us know.
Most
But
definitely.
Yvette, thank you so much. So,
You're
what you don't know yet is somebody down the road is going to come back
welcome.
and be like, here's how my life has changed because
Ah,
one
that
day
would be
you took time to teach me this thing. So,
oh,
thank
that's
you so
a good
much.
thing. That's a blessing. I hope so. Oh, I hope so. Most definitely. It's happening.
I know. Yeah, somebody. As soon as you said it, I was like, okay, let's get somebody in that role. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see how many. Let's see how many of y'all we can get in these roles. Right, we're gonna
Yeah.
start the new year with some better pay, some less stress, some easier
Yeah.
work, easier job with better pay. I
Mm-hmm. Let's
know.
do it. And
Okay,
it's remote too. Oh my goodness. Let's really do that.
let's do
Yeah.
it. Oh, I appreciate you so much. More
Thank
information. I see,
you.
well, we see you in the chat asking for more information about the challenge. I don't know, girl. Okay, wait until she's going to email you. Okay, let her email you with some
I will
information.
email you.
Okay.
I promise.
Literally, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the YouTube channel, on my channel on a Saturday, and she was like, "Oh, I want to help." So
Yes.
let her get this worked out, and she'll tell you. She'll give you the information.
I will give you the information.
Right. So is it just for women? We don't know. I don't know. Let her tell you. Okay, let her tell you.
You know what, Stephanie? I love what you know what I would have to say. I want it just for women because
Okay.
I love our community. So yeah, I just want to help the women. Like, yes,
Okay.
because I want to talk to us the way we need to hear it. So I
Yeah.
want to tell us.
Wonderful. Okay, friends, all of the resources will be in the description of the video in just a few minutes. Give us a few minutes to get that in there. Okay, and then take some action, get yourself the thing that you need. If right now you're like your heart is beating fast and you're like, this is for me. This was for me. I know that feeling, right? When you're like, this whole thing, they did this whole thing just for me. If that's
Mm,
you right now, take some action, keep going, report back. Okay?
important. Love it.
All right.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit the finish button, right? We did it, right? I think we did
We
it.
did it.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you so much, friends. And Yvette, hang on for 1 second.